Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss some common production metrics like cycle time, lead time, takt time and setup time. So let's start with the cycle time. Cycle time is the time taken to complete a given process or a specific task from start to finish. Or you can say cycle time is the average amount of time you need in order to produce one unit. For example, if a manufacturer starts building a fan at 8 am and the complete fan unit is packaged and ready to ship at 11 am, the total cycle time for production of this fan is 3 hours. A shorter supply chain cycle time means your supply chain is flexible, agile, and responsive to outside changes. How to calculate cycle time? Cycle time for a single unit can be measured by deducting start time from the finish time. If you are producing multiple units and would like to know cycle time of each unit, then you have to simply divide net production time with the number of units produced. Let's discuss lead time. Lead time is the period between the start of a process and its conclusion. For example, lead time starts when a request is initiated and ends with delivery. Let's say a customer orders a product on November 6. The company receives the order instantly and delivers the product on November 10. Yet work on the product begins on November 8. Therefore, the lead time here is 4 days, while cycle time is 2 days. Lead time represents the time consumed but not effort. You could have a lead time of 25 days, yet spend only 2 hours working to manufacture the product. Calculating lead time is quite simple. Lead time can be calculated by deducting order received time minus order delivered time. Reduced lead times can mean reduced inventory and more cash on hand for the business. Let's discuss some differences between cycle time and lead time so that my viewers have a good grasp of the concept. Cycle time is the time taken to complete the production process, whereas lead time is the time taken from receiving the order to delivery. Cycle time is from the perspective of the manufacturer, whereas lead time is from the perspective of the customer. Cycle time represents time to order completion, whereas lead time represents time to order arrival. Cycle time does not include lead time, whereas lead time includes cycle time. Example, cycle time shows how much time it takes for you to make a sandwich, whereas lead time shows how much time it takes for the customer to receive the sandwich on their table after placing the order. Takt time. Takt time is the speed with which the product should be produced to satisfy the customer demand. In other words, takt time is the rate at which you should work and finish the production process in order to meet the customer demand. For example, if one customer buys one product every 2 hours, then you have 2 hours to produce that one particular product. Here, 2 hours is your takt time. However, if there is an increase in demand and customers buy 4 products in 2 hours, then you will have 30 minutes to produce one unit. 30 minutes is your takt time here. If the customer demand changes, the organization need to recalculate the takt time and see if they can meet the customer demand. Calculating takt time is quite simple. Takt time is equal to workable production hours divided by units required, that is demand. Sometimes students mix takt time with lead time and cycle time. Always remember that takt time is not related to how much time it takes to make one unit. It is related to customer demand. Demand is the keyword here which you should remember. Knowing your takt time will help you optimize your production process in such a way that you meet the realistic customer demand. Let's move on to setup time. Setup time is time required to prepare a machine or a process for production. Or setup time is the interval needed to adjust the setting on a machine so that it is ready to process a job. It is the time it takes to remove the dies and tooling from one job order and replace it with the dies and tooling for the new job order. You can call it changeover time, turnover, or prep time as well. Although it usually refers to manufacturing machinery, setup time may refer to other types of businesses as well, such as the time it takes to change band's equipment on stage during a concert. I have students from all walks of life. Therefore, I try to give as many examples as I can, and I personally believe that adding more examples add more dimensions to the subject. I would like to share another example with you to give you deep insight about the concept of setup time. Sometimes when you visit a fresh juice shop and look at their menu card, you will notice that the bigger glass of a fresh juice is relatively cheaper as compared to the smaller glass. This is usually because of the setup time. In other words, the cost of his setup time is fixed. He doesn't need to clean or set up his machine again to sell you some extra juice. However, if the new customer walks in and requests the fresh juice seller to extract an apple juice, then he will have to clean his machine and throw away the residue of the carrot juice which he had sold to the earlier customer. This will take his time and resources too. Hope all my viewers understood all these terms. However, I would like to end my discussion by showing you this small graphical representation of lead time, cycle time, and setup time. As you can see, lead time starts when the order is received and it is delivered to the customer, whereas cycle time is the time when actually production took place. And in this cycle time, you will find setup time that shows that the time required to set up the machinery for the production. So you can see this graphical representation and you can keep it in your mind if you want to remember these concepts. Please consider that this graphical representation is for production of one unit only, since setup time will be required only once if you are producing multiple products, multiple goods in one batch. So the setup time will spread on the number of units produced. Viewers, if you find value in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and pressing the bell icon. Thank you.